members of the Council and members of the public, and welcome to the annual meeting of Chelmsford City Council. Please would you all remain standing if you are able, as my chaplain says prayers.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for being able to be here this evening. We ask for wisdom for each of the council members as they deliberate the matters this evening, and that every decision made may be righteous in your sight. We ask these things in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded and streamed live on our website. I have also been asked at meetings of the Council to make a standard evacuation announcement. Please note that in the case of an emergency, a bell will ring continuously. If this occurs, please leave the Council chamber at once, taking your personal belongings with you. Follow the green fire exit signs to leave the Civic Centre onto Duke Street via the stairs, which are located next to the end of the corridor adjoining this chamber. Lifts should not be used. Please gather by the War Memorial immediately outside the Civic Centre, and if and when it is safe to return to the building, an announcement will be made. You should not return to the building until told it is safe to do so. Anyone attending this meeting is entitled to film it, but I should point out that only the councillors, officers and anyone sitting around these tables may be filmed. Members of the public should not be filmed, so please ensure that cameras are pointed only in this direction. Please would you silence or switch off your mobile phones whilst the meeting is taking place. Agenda item 1 is apologies for absence. I have apologies for absence from councillors Davis, Scott, Papa, Frascona, Bugby and Chambers. Are there any more to report? I'll repeat that part. I have apologies for absence from... Is that better? There are any microphones. Okay. I'll try harder. I have apologies. Is that better? Okay. They're wired in. Can you hear me now? Thank you so much. Have you got... Can I use a microphone? One of the handheld ones. Thank you. Okay. Hello? Thank you. There we are. Okay, right. Let's lose that for a minute. Okay. I have apologies for absence from councillors Davis, Scott, Papa, Frascona, Bugby and Chambers. Are there any more to report? No? I have some announcements under agenda item 2. I am pleased to announce that the total of mayoral engagements for this year has been 396, and the amount raised for YMCA 6 is in excess of £14,000. The exact amount is to follow, as we haven't had recent fundraising events, so we haven't yet finalised this amount. I would like to welcome to this meeting the Acting Chair of the YMCA, Paul Coleman. I am pleased to also welcome to this meeting the first Mayor of Chelmsford's cadet, Sergeant Wallage, and I invite her to come up and to receive her certificate. That deserves a round of applause. Agenda item 3 is the election of the Mayor. May I have nominations for the office of Mayor of the City of Chelmsford for the forthcoming year?
We all complained about the mics before, so we've got new ones that are even worse. Never mind. We'll all do our best for you. Anyway, Madam Mayor, the nomination for Mayor is Councillor Jeanette Potter. The nomination will be seconded by Councillor Andrew Sosin.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? I therefore call upon Councillor Whitehead to speak.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councillor Jeanette Potter was first elected to Chelmsford Borough Council, as it was then, in 1991 as the member for Gallywood, and has therefore been representing her residents for 33 years. This makes her the longest serving member of the now City Council. During those 33 years, she's also been a Gallywood parish councillor, and through that council helped to improve many aspects of Gallywood life. As a borough and later city councillor, Jeanette has assisted many residents in Gallywood with problems such as housing, planning, the environment, waste and recycling. One of her main local achievements was in 2007, persuading Chelmsford Council to offer Gallywood Parish a lease on the former Essex County Council depot on Gallywood Common. This created the Gallywood Heritage Centre, which is thriving today. Many of you have probably been there. Run by volunteers and hired by residents from all over Chelmsford. She campaigned for highway improvements, particularly at the Eagle Junction, as well as for new speed limits, pedestrian crossings, and of course pothole repairs. The jury's still out on that one. She's been a member of many of the major city council committees over the years, together with many outside bodies representing Chelmsford City Council. And in 2003, she was appointed Cabinet Member for Housing, and the following year, Cabinet Member for Environmental Health. But after that, everything went wrong. It was all rubbish. No, not that sort of rubbish. The role she always wanted to fill was filled. She was appointed Cabinet Member for Waste Management and Recycling. And she carried out that role for the next 12 years. Under her leadership, and with excellent support from the director, Chelmsford was at the forefront of the Green Revolution. Separate collection of plastics, waste, glass, and all the other things that we now collect, and you all know, and particularly food waste. She thoroughly enjoyed her role and was a regular visitor at the recycling centre to see her men and women and to thank them for ensuring our residents were well looked after. I've got lots of pictures of her with piles of rubbish and standing on lorries and all sorts of things, really. I'm lucky not going to see them tonight. Anyway, within the Conservative group, she was always our style guru, ensuring our ties were straight and shoes were polished. Although since COVID, of course, the trend for informal clothing and Zoom meetings has diluted this role, but not for her, as I'm sure you'll see over the months to come. Many of Jeanette's friends and family are here tonight for this formal event, but Jeanette is not used to sitting at this particular table. As long ago as 1995-96, she served as Deputy Mayor to Councillor Alan Wilshire, and in 2019-20 served as Deputy Mayor to Councillor Bob Massey. But tonight she gets the ultimate accolade, and I'm delighted to be able to nominate her as the Mayor of the City of Chelmsford for the forthcoming civic year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Whitehead. I now call upon Councillor Andrew Sosin to second the nomination.
I don't know. Does that work, that one? No.
This one will. Good too. That's all right. There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I welcome this opportunity to second the nomination of Councillor Jeanette Potter for the office of Mayor for 24-25. She is a community champion, especially for Gallywood, and of course we see her in Great Baddow, where I believe she has family. She has a special interest in Gallywood Common, including all aspects of the maintenance programme. Gallywood became a separate parish from Great Baddow in 1987, recognising it as a separate community. From soon after its creation, Jeanette became a councillor there and has contributed to its development ever since. Councillor Whitehead has already outlined her work in Chelmsford Borough and City Council over the years, so I'll not repeat that. Examples of her community work include, when I was walking along
Ponds Road with the late former councillor Trevor Miller, and we met Councillor Potter, who said she was championing the Ponds Road footway, much needed for residents, and for that matter, campaigning councillors. Councillor Jeanette was very concerned about the long-term future of the Gallywood and Great Baddow Cemetery and helped to develop a long-term plan for the cemetery, owned by Gallywood Parish Council but managed by Great Baddow Parish Council. And as already been mentioned, Jeanette has supported the team establishing the Gallywood Heritage Centre from its foundation. Councillor Jeanette is also involved with arts and crafts, where Jeanette and myself have met her occasionally at craft arts events. I conclude by wishing her every success in supporting arts, crafts and charities and many other fields in our coming mayoral year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sojin. There being no other nominations, is the nomination of Councillor Jeanette Potter agreed? Agreed. Thank you. I therefore declare Councillor Jeanette Potter elected Mayor of the City of Chelmsford for the forthcoming year.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As the Deputy Mayor is elected by the Council rather than it being purely a Mayor's appointment, I have great pleasure in nominating Councillor Susan Sullivan as Deputy Mayor for the forthcoming year. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? In that case, the nomination of Susan Sullivan is agreed. Please be seated. Do you hand me the application? As part of agenda item 4, I shall now read and sign the Declaration of Acceptance of Office. I, Janet Anita Potter, having been elected to the office of Mayor of the City of Chelmsford, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly fulfil the duties of it accordingly to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Chelmsford City Council. I shall now ask the Deputy Mayor to read and sign her declaration of office of acceptance.
I, Susan Ruth Sullivan, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of the City of Chelmsford, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Chelmsford City Council.
We now come to agenda item 5. I'd like to ask the retiring Mayor's Consort to invest the new Mayor's Mayoress with the chain of office. The new Mayor's Mayoress will in turn present Ian Mascot with the past Mayor's Consort badge. I now ask the retiring Deputy Mayoress to invest the new Deputy Mayor's Consort with his badge of office. The retiring Deputy Mayoress will also be presented with a gift of thanks. I'd like to thank the Conservative councillors for nominating me for the Mayor of Chelmsford, and I'd like to thank the administration of the Chelmsford City Council for seconding the nomination. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. We now come to agenda item 7. I invite Councillor Robinson to propose the vote of thanks to the retiring Mayor for her past services.
I don't have much to say because I believe Councillor Mascott is going to introduce a film. But I just want to add my own thanks to Councillor Mascott for the year. She has been full of life and energy. As she said earlier, the number of engagements that she has undertaken during the year, she has been a credit to the council and to our community. And I think there aren't very many groups that she hasn't tried to meet during her year, particularly emphasising her aim to reach out to younger people and represent young people, to speak out for them. We had a fantastic ball on Saturday night, which the mayoral party organised. That was great to see that as well. And it was great to raise so much extra money for those charities. So thank you very much to Councillor Mascott for everything that you've done. And now I'll hand this over to you, I think.
Thank you, Councillor Robinson. I now call upon Councillor Julia Jeeps to second the nomination.
I'd like to add to the thanks by Councillor Robinson. I think it's important to recognise the significance of the Mayor's role, the important part it plays in highlighting the volunteers, organisations and groups that contribute so much to our wonderful city of Chelmsford. Clearly, the number of visits and events attended speaks volumes for the hard work that was carried out and the value that was placed on the Mayor by the people of Chelmsford. Councillor Linda Mascott and her Deputy Councillor Jude Deakin rose to the challenge, and when I asked for some outstanding moments of the Mayor's duties over the last year, I was told that there were so many it was hard to single them out. The pile of visits, schools, sporting events and wide range of different occasions that were lifted by the Mayor's presence. Then the Mayor's driver, John Kenson, came to the rescue. This picture tells you why. I hope it does. The technology hasn't been helpful tonight. I'll go on to describe it. We got it? Yes, a fantastic costume. That represents some of the fun as well as the hard work that took place. So after dressing up for the Pride Parade, how do you fit back to the back seat of the Mayor's car? I guess with a bang. A befitting conclusion to a great year and a very memorable term in office. So again, I echo the thanks of the whole of the council in the work that's taken place, the money that's been raised, and I think the highlighting of the different areas of work that goes on in Chelmsford for its good and the community's good, and thank you both for the service that you have given. So I have pleasure in seconding the vote of thanks for a job very well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jeeps. It is now my pleasure to present the past Mayor's badge to the retiring Mayor. Will Councillor Mascott please join me? You all right?
What an absolute privilege it has been to represent this great city of my birth as Mayor of Chelmsford. At the beginning of my mayoral term, I was given some advice. Don't say yes to every engagement, concentrate on those that have a particular interest to you. I'm very pleased to say I ignored this advice and said yes to everything. At every single engagement, I have thoroughly enjoyed meeting and thanking all the amazing volunteers who are supporting our residents, finding out about the charities and seeing groups and organisations for all ages and abilities which are helping to combat social isolation and fostering a strong sense of community. I've been lucky enough to see many talented local drama, dance and music shows and sporting events, all activities which are so good for physical and mental well-being. I've also enjoyed representing the City Council at formal civic events such as the Remembrance Service and Civic Carol Service. It has been an absolute pleasure to appoint the first City of Chelmsford Mayor's Cadet, Sergeant Iona Wallage, who has proved to be a great ambassador for the cadet forces and joined in wholeheartedly by running the YMCA fundraiser Moustache Run, as well as attending formal events. I hope this new tradition will continue with future mayors. One particularly enjoyable focus of my engagements has been on inclusion and diversity. We are so lucky to have such great opportunities to learn from the rich culture of so many people from varied communities who choose to live and work in our city and who we welcome with open arms. My children soon heard the noun mayor turn into the verb to mayor, as I was constantly mayoring, particularly when they asked me to babysit. Thank you for your understanding and patience. The booking system for childcare is now open again. The theme for my mayoral year has been Bright Futures, supporting young people to become confident, successful and happy adults, which is why I chose my charity for the year, YMCA Essex. Thank you so much for showing your support for my charity to all who attended fundraising events. This money will go towards an exciting new project, helping the YMCA deliver a new supported housing facility for young people aged 16 to 25 on their existing site in Chelmsford, supported by the City Council, which will be the building blocks for young people's futures. Thank you to my ACE fundraising team, aptly named the Village People, who have worked tirelessly to raise more than £14,000 this year by putting on events from afternoon teas, concerts, moustache runs and quizzes, culminating in a very successful charity ball on Saturday evening. Thank you also to Andy Poole for putting together the presentation you'll see shortly, which I haven't seen. Thank you to my consort, my husband Ian. You have been called many other things this year. Escort, mayoress, and others I can't mention, far too rude. But you've been an excellent companion and an ambassador for this city. We've seldom gone anywhere without knowing someone that Ian played football with or has worked with, and we've made many new friends as well. Thanks to the best deputy mayor I could have hoped for in Councillor Jude Deakin. You've been my right-hand woman, confidant, and fundraiser extraordinaire. I have a gift here for you as a small token of my appreciation this year. Please come up. Thank you. Nice. And they match. Thank you. Finish that. Of course, I couldn't have fulfilled my role without the excellent organisation skills and friendship of Catherine Neely. Our meetings were always full of laughter and anecdotes. Thank you for your wealth of knowledge and advice. Also, thanks to John Kempson. Can't see where he is, over there. Little John and Kevin for driving us and ensuring we always arrived at engagements at the right time and in the right place. We are very grateful. I would like to wish the new Mayor and Deputy Mayor the very best for their year ahead. If you enjoy the experience half as much as I have, you will have a brilliant year. I've had the time of my life. Thank you. Roll VT.
I'm Ella Hughes, the Chief Executive Officer at Sanctus Homeless Charity. We've had lots of contact with Linda this year, which has been incredible for our charity. One, to feel the support of Linda and of the councillors in general has just been so lovely, rewarding for our team and our service users, to feel that we're all recognised. Wonderful to see lots of pictures of when she's attended events, such as the opening of our charity shop, to see them online, to be able to share them with our supporters, to encourage more supporters to come to Sanctus, and we've just really appreciated the time and the love and the kindness that she's shown to us all this year.
Hello, I'm Amelia, the founder of ACE Music Therapy CIC. We deliver music therapy and community music services across Essex, London and Norfolk. And we recently invited the Mayor to our Making Melodies concert. And the concert was a culmination of the hard work that our performers had put in as a result of a grant that had been given to us by Essex County Council. And we had performers of all ages and abilities, but mostly children with autism and learning disabilities, and some adults as well with mental health conditions and learning disabilities. And we invited the Mayor because we thought it would be a great opportunity to showcase some of the work that we were doing and to showcase a bit of music therapy, as not everyone knows what music therapy is, and help to understand what music therapy is, but also to raise our profile a little bit as well. Obviously we took some pictures with the Mayor, which is great because they get shared on social media and people can understand a bit more about what we do and why we do it. And we just wanted to showcase a bit of the work and to support all the children and adults who are part of the concert as well, to give them a bit of a buzz that there was someone really important there for the concert.
It's been my pleasure to invite the Mayor of Chelmsford to see our shows at Chaos for many, many years, together with my husband as well, of course. But what a joy this year to have someone that I know, well, not quite well, but her dad I knew much better, and her mum. I knew them when they were both young, in shows in Clacton-on-Sea. In fact, Dad was a boy dancer, can you believe it? But what a joy to have both Linda and her husband this year, because they are so easy and such a good representative of the city.
My name's Andy Hall, and I've known Linda for many, many years, and I've had the pleasure of working with her to some degree over the past year of her marriage. It's been a great year. I think, regardless of the hard work and effort that's put in by the people that inhabit the role of mayor, it can also bring a greater sense of community, a greater sense of being part of something much bigger than just that business, that charity, that group, that activity, that event, but being part of Chelmsford. And having somebody as ebullient, fun, informed, and responsible as Linda, as somebody who is so kind, caring, enthusiastic, and willing to be a part of that bigger thing. Well, that's what made Linda's Melody so incredibly special. I know that many will miss her, and I'm one of those people. So I'd say thank you, Linda, for everything you've done. You've been amazing.
So this year at Essex Pride, we were really pleased to invite the Mayor of Chelmsford. As we know, Pride is a celebration. It's about love and friendship. It's bringing people together. It's got a really historical meaning as well. And to invite the Mayor of Chelmsford was an incredible thing this year. To have her support from the Pride March all the way through to meeting and greeting the guests and the artists. And the Mayor of Chelmsford also came up on stage this year and gave a really empowering speech about how pride means to Chelmsford and what it means personally to her. And it was a really great message, and we love having the Mayor of Chelmsford at Pride this year. So thank you very much for all you've done for the LGBTQ+ community. We appreciate you.
We can cut that. Hi, my name is Sally and I work for the Chelmsford Council for Voluntary Services. And as a charity, we make it a point to invite the Mayor or the Deputy Mayor to as many of our events and celebrations as we can. Chelmsford has a really thriving, really exciting, really important voluntary sector, but a lot of the time we are so busy working that we never make the time to properly celebrate our achievements, to reflect on them, and to actually acknowledge the work we're doing. Having an event or an awards or any sort of ribbon cutting or opening ceremony or just moments of reflection and inviting the Mayor along to that, it adds a sense of ceremony, of importance, and actually in Linda's case, literal sparkle to that event. It really does make it feel special and memorable.
Thank you. And Councillor Mascot, I can just about see through the heads there. I personally say, Linda, you've been an excellent mayor. Agenda item 8, Mayor's announcements. I'm pleased to announce that my chaplain for the year will be the Reverend David Cattle of St Michael and All Angels Church in Gallywood. Thank you. I have chosen Chelmsford Farley Hospice as my charity. Farleys provide hospice and end-of-life care to the people affected by life-limiting illnesses and bereavement across Mid-Essex with dignity, care and compassion. Agenda item 9, provision of substitutes to the licensing and regulatory committees.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I congratulate you on your appointment, on your election as Mayor, and I look forward to working with you over the coming 12 months. Item 9 is a minor item to change the Constitution so that we have appointed substitutes for the Licensing and Regulatory Committee, and I so move. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Robinson. Are there any questions? No. There are no questions. It's been seconded by Councillor Whitehead. We are asked to approve the changes to the Constitution, so if there are no questions, I ask those in favour to please show. Those against, any abstentions? All agreed. So easy. Agenda item 10, Leaders Scheme of Delegation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, the law gives all executive power to the leader, and then the leader has to publish a scheme of delegation, which I'm pleased to do. It's the same as it has been for many years, namely that all executive functions of the council are vested in the cabinet as a whole and not in any individual cabinet member, and that's as set out on the agenda item, and so I move.
Thank you, Councillor Robinson. Is that seconded? Thank you. We are then asked to note the leader's scheme of delegation. Is this noted?
Noted.
Agenda item 11, arrangements for and appointments to Chelmsford City Council bodies and outside bodies. The next item is on the arrangements for and appointments to the bodies and outside bodies. I now call upon Councillor Robinson to propose the appointments as set out in Schedules A to D.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor. Yes, as per the agenda, Schedule A is the group memberships. I want to take a moment to explain Schedule B and the slight cabinet reshuffle that I am proposing for for the coming council year. I just want to explain a bit. It's been written in the agenda, but I wanted to explain a bit of the thinking that's gone into the changes. I'm going to go through, not quite in the order they're set out, because I'm starting with the significant changes to the more minor changes. As we all know, the climate and ecological emergency is the single biggest challenge that we as a world face to our current way of life. And we have, for the last 5 years, made that a priority for this council. And in this slight cabinet reshuffle, we're re-emphasising that. So Councillor Moore will be cabinet member for Greener Chelmsford, retaining the current Parks and Green Spaces brief, but taking on planning and development management, because for the next 12 months, getting the revised local plan through to inquiry and adoption is a very important part of the council's activity, and embedded in the local plan is new sections on climate action, sustainability and affordable housing, and so we think it's important to emphasise that with cabinet appointments, and in addition to have a roving brief across the council to ensure that climate action and the action plan that we agreed 4 and a bit years ago is embedded within the whole council. So that will be Councillor Moore's portfolio. As a result, we create a new cabinet post for a safer Chelmsford, Donna Ely. She will carry on doing the community safety work that she's done as a deputy, but take on the street care and operation refuse and recycling and most of public health and protection services, the regulatory side. Cabinet member for an active Chelmsford continues to be Councillor Dudley, who will retain leisure and heritage, expand the voluntary and community sector support, including community grants, and will take on the public health and wellbeing element of place services. And then under an that's active Chelmsford, and then Councillor Davison couldn't stand or keep away. He makes a return, so I'm handing over finance and accountancy audit to him, and he'll be also taking on revenues and benefits from Councillor Goldman. The Cabinet Deputy for Economic Development will report to me. The new Cabinet Deputy for Sustainable Transport takes the remainder of the Sustainable Communities Directorate, Sustainable Transport, including parking. That's also an important part of what we're putting into the local plan, that we want to see stronger emphasis. We will do our best to influence our friends down the road, Essex County Council, on matters of public transport and so on, and cycleways and so on. A minor amendment to Councillor Foster, who retains Fairer Chelmsford but adds building services to that, because that goes with property, and Councillor Goldman retains all of her portfolio except for revenues under a connected Chelmsford. So those are my proposals for the Cabinet and 2 deputies for the coming year. So that's the thinking behind Schedule B. Schedule C is all the appointments to committees, and includes delegation to make those changes if anything comes up during the year. All the groups have nominated their members as set out on the schedule. And then finally, there's all the outside bodies appointments. And also in that section, though, we are creating a new ambassador post. We've had climate and ecology ambassador for the last 4 years. It continues to be Councillor Sherlock, who is adding the Cabinet Deputy for Sustainable Transport role. But we're also officially recording that the Health and Wellbeing Ambassador will be Councillor Anne Davison, and she will continue to represent us on the NHS bodies locally. And then there's all the other outside bodies as set out on the agenda. So I will move the recommendations as set out, recommendations 1 to 4. The fourth one is the Legal and Democratic Services Manager is authorised to make any adjustments, minor adjustments, as notified by the group leaders. Is that agreed? Sorry, that's your job.
Do I have a seconder? Thank you. Agreed? Thank you. That concludes this evening's meetings. I declare the meeting closed and invite members and our guests to join us for refreshments, which will be in the Marconi and Crompton rooms. I'd personally like to invite my family and friends to the Mayor's Parlour for photos. Thank you.